Hello friends, welcome back to Graceful Living and welcome if you are new. Now before I get started with today's video, I just wanted to take a really quick moment to thank each and every one of you for all of your love and support. If you follow me over on Instagram, Facebook, or maybe even saw my community post this past Friday, I hit 10,000 subscribers and I could not have done it without you. And I'm so grateful. I am so thankful for all of the love and support that you have shared with me. You guys are so incredibly kind and I'm just overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed and I'm humbled by the fact that I have 10,000 people that have said yes to my content and hit that little red subscribe button in order to come back and see more. I am so thankful that you have given me the liberty to share of his goodness and grace in every one of my videos, and you've accepted that. That means so much to me. I can't even put into words how thankful I am for the opportunity to use this platform for his good. So thank you so much. I'm sorry. But to celebrate this great accomplishment that I never saw coming, when I hit that upload button for the first time last year, I would never have dreamt that I would be at 10,000 subscribers already. It just is it's crazy to me. A good crazy. I'm so excited. And I know it's not a huge channel, but for me, it's a lot. But to celebrate this, I wanted to give back. Now, I wish I could give to each and every one of you, but I do want to give away 2 $50 gift cards of your choice. If you are the winner, you can choose a $50 gift card, or you could choose a Deena box. Now, it's been a few months back, but I did a little Deena box. I think it was, oh, Robin, I think you were the winner of that. I want to say it was back Christmas time, but I'm not sure. But it just has different things that I use to decorate with or just around my home. So you can choose a $50 gift card of your choice, or you could choose to do a $50 Deena box. Either way, I'm so excited to share 2 of those. There will be 2 lucky winners, and I wish each and every one of you great luck with this giveaway. But for now, let's go ahead and dive right into today's video. Now, today's video is me getting back into our guest room after it has had a stay. I need to put clean bedding on and just kind of refresh the room. I do want to get rid of a couple things or just kind of change them up. In the beginning, I had no clue as to what I was going to do, but I really like the outcome and I hope that you do too. I did put some fallout. I usually start in there, and so I started again this year and I'm super excited. It's not a lot, and you know what? I love it. I think that might be the way I go for the fall. Very, very simple and minimal, but we'll see. I could change my mind, but let's go ahead and get started. Like I mentioned, I did get some of my fall decor out and decided on just a few items to use here in our guest bedroom. But before we get to all of that, I need to get this space back into shape. I don't know how you feel, but I find that my taste in things seems to move on rather quickly when it comes to decor. So I really want to take the time to figure out how I can change up this wall. Now, I have racked my brain and I don't think I have any wall decor to take its place, so it will definitely be a DIY moment. Back when I found my husband's desk on Facebook Marketplace, I had to do some rearranging in order for it to fit in the office. So the table that was in there went into our room. The desk that was in our room went into Jeremiah's room, and the desk in his room came in here, which worked out perfectly last year because my sweet little niece Ariana spent her Zoom time in here and she really enjoyed having her own little special spot. And I really like the idea of it being in here for our guest as well. We are in the middle of our dustiest time of year and it drives me absolutely crazy. I have been on a mission to clean each of our blinds really well before the fall season comes in because I know I get busy with all of the decorating, and I have learned I'm not as young as I used to be, so spacing chores out is the way to go for me. But even though I cleaned these blinds off less than a week ago, the dust has collected on them once again. So I took my e-cloth dusting cloth. Now I know I talk about e-cloth a lot, but it's seriously because I love them so much. I've been using my dusting cloth a lot lately and it has turned into my favorite. It does such an amazing job. In fact, I posted a small video over on my Instagram showing how much better it does at getting rid of the dust next to the duster that I usually use. I know during my last giveaway, I had a lot of questions on where to purchase e-cloths, and I just wanted to let you know that I always have a link down in my description box. It will take you right over to their website. And just so you know, I do get a small commission for each and every sale. I don't want that to be a hidden thing. I do get a little bit of money anytime you make a purchase. The e-cloths I used on the windows and I'm using now are two of the same ones that Priscilla, our last winner, will be receiving. This is their glass cleaning set, and the one that is more of a regular rag is the wet one, while the microfiber will be the dry that you follow up with. And I like these so much that I use them every day. Most of you know that while Ronnie was on deployment, he arranged to have all of our interior doors painted black for my birthday, and I absolutely love them. But in order to keep them looking really nice, I do take my e-cloths to them each and every week. Being they are black, they do tend to attract a lot more dust, and I just don't want to worry about any buildup on them. Okay, my next step is to get rid of all this old decor. So I'm going to get it out of here to make room to make the bed and bring in some of that fall flair. Now I might use some of it, but I highly doubt it. So I'm just going to put it out on the kitchen table and get going with the rest of the refresh. Say remaking the bed early is like a two-edged sword, because keeping Millicent and Brooklyn off this bed until our next guests arrive is pretty much impossible. So if needs be, it will be stripped again and freshened up before it's needed. But I do enjoy the room looking nice and put together, even if no one else is here to enjoy it as well. If you have been around my channel for very long, you know I am a very neutral girl, but that I also love to add in different colors and textures to my decor, and that goes for my bedding as well. Even though everything is very neutral, I tried to add in grays with the tans and beiges. Just adding in that mixture of sheets adds to the look of the bed. So I tend to do this in every one of our bedrooms. few weeks back, my husband and I took a quick trip and stopped in at IKEA so I could purchase some pillow covers that I have wanted since last year. I picked up 4 pillow covers and 2 new inserts. I love IKEA and could spend the whole day there, but we just didn't have the time that day, so it was an in and out, but I grabbed my pillow covers and I'm so excited to use them here in this room today. I actually had full intentions of purchasing these for Christmas time in the living room, but just couldn't help myself and decided to break them out early. Now I love them and the pop of color they bring to the room, so I used 3 here on the bed and then placed 1 in the desk chair just to carry the color over. Now, before coming in here today, I knew I wanted to change this wall up, but really had no idea of what to do. But as I stood here, a light came on and the image in my head looks great. Now, sometimes that doesn't mean a thing, but I took it all down and took some time to clean the wall and tend to some of the scuffs as well. When I do paint small scuffs like these, I will just bring in the paint can lid loaded with paint from simply shaking the can, and this small foam brush I purchased at Walmart in their craft section, and it always works out great for me. I decided to take these prints apart. Now in doing this, it can go 2 ways, the easy way or the hard way. Lucky for me, today it was easy. After getting the backing off, it was simply a print taped to the mat, and my plan is to paint the mat and the frame black along with the mirror frame, and then use some of that wall plaster to stencil on a pretty scroll and painting it black as well, placing it all back into the frames and up on the wall as a grouping. Now, I will say it sounds kind of weird, but I love the outcome. So let's get these painted and move on. Anytime I paint on camera, I feel so self-conscious. I know I do it all wrong. I am not patient. I don't wait in between coats. And a lot of times I will pick something up that is completely wet and use them before they're dry. So please don't look at me for painting inspiration because it's all bad. Okay, so I did let these dry out here while I stopped to have lunch with the family. So good on me. Now I want to go ahead and start the plaster part of this little DIY. I have used this method so much, but always loved the outcome. And so I thought, why not? However, I should have paid closer attention to the texture of the plaster because it had gotten way too thick and it didn't work at all. So after that first fail, I took it inside and added just a little water and it worked great. Now, I didn't want this to be completely perfect because I wanted some of the imperfections in the background to add to the texture to it after it's dried and then painted black. While I let the plaster dry, I stepped back inside to see what fall decor I wanted to use in this space. And honestly, it wasn't very much, but I love the way it all turned out. I love that there's just enough to say, hello, fall, but that's it. I have had such a hard time finding older books since everything had been closed down. So when we were over on the coast not long ago, I ran into a small used bookstore and grabbed a couple there, and then found a few more at my husband's favorite little library one day when they were having a sale. So I decided to bring some of those in here too, and I love what they've added to the space as well. As usual, a little switching around takes place before I can decide on the final look. But I think adding in this wreath to the pumpkin and the books under the lamp are a perfect touch and bring in a little more of that green to the space. And of course, a strand of fairy lights and some flameless candles never hurt a vignette. Now over on the desk is the perfect spot for another stack of books, a couple more pumpkins to bring in that fall touch, and I decided to add one more book to the desk left open because I love the look of old, worn, and discolored pages. And the final touch is a simple candle set atop a small cake stand and an okay from the girls, and we're back outside to finish up the DIY. So as you can see, my painting skills lack greatly, and I ended up with paint on the mirror, but over the years I have learned not to be too alarmed. I simply took my little scrubber to it. I have Dawn dish soap and vinegar in this at all times, plus I splashed a little rubbing alcohol on the mirror as well, and the paint came right up. Now that I got the mirror back up in the room, I think the black looks so much better in here, especially with the reflection of the doors in it. Now back to the frames, I'm simply going to put them all back together without the glass. In my head, for some reason, a more matted look is what I'm going for, so the glare from the glass had to go.
at this point, I'm still not quite sure how I'm going to hang these up, partly because I do want to take the easy road and I don't want to deal with finding another picture hanger. And the other part is because I'm not really sure them just hanging there as a simple frame is going to do. So I did decide to use some ribbon instead, and I'm so glad I put that little added touch into it. I did have to call in reinforcements, and Ronnie was more than willing to come and help. This way I can step back and see exactly where I want them placed. I have noticed this last year, I have really liked the look of frames matching up at the bottom instead of the normal centered version of a grouping. I'm not sure why, other than it's a little different. So as you can see, I simply slip the ribbon in between the frame and the mat to secure it in place and to be able to use it as a hanger safely. Once I knotted the ribbon, I then took it back to the wall to kind of measure and figure out exactly where I wanted it now that the knot is in place. Now I will repeat those same steps with the second frame, beginning with slipping the ribbon in between the frame and the mat, then using the first frame and ribbon as a template and guide for how long the ribbon needs to be and where it needs to be knotted. Now back to the wall for a final measure and placement of the frames. And the finishing touch is a simple bow tied around the top with dovetailed ends to create a beautiful and very unique grouping on the wall. As I began this little YouTube journey, intimidation began to set in, as it always does when I'm taking a step into the unknown. Intimidation and fear are some of my biggest vices for sure. I love what I do, but being in front of a camera was and sometimes still is way too much. Doing things here at home behind closed doors is super easy, but the thoughts that run through your head when you take a step into that unknown, what are people going to think? What are people going to say? Will I completely fail at this? So many questions, and most of them have that negative undertone. So of course intimidation can creep in, and it tries to rob us of what we want and sometimes should do. But I knew I had to fight against all those uncertainties and uncomfortable insecurities because I didn't want to miss out on an opportunity to grow. I didn't want to miss out on being a part of a wonderful community of ladies just like you. And I certainly didn't want to miss a chance to share about his goodness and grace. And I knew this platform would allow me the opportunity to do just that, be it to 10 people, 100 people, 10,000 people. Thankfully, his word teaches us when we take these steps to do something a little different and out of the norm, we don't have to do it alone. So today, I encourage you to take that step and know that you don't have to face it alone. So be strong and courageous. Don't be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
All right, friends, we are going to go ahead and bring this video to a close. Thank you so much for making it to the end with me, and I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I know I am loving the outcome, especially of that wall. I think it's made the whole room a little more cohesive, and I absolutely love that. Now, remember, if you aren't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that little red button down below, and remember, everyone, to leave me a comment to be entered into that giveaway. There's going to be 2 winners this time. You can either choose a $50 gift card of your choice or a Deena box. And remember, a Deena box is just going to be filled with little goodies that I absolutely love using around my home. Maybe it'll have something fall in there, or something Christmas, or both. I don't know. But anyways, it's totally your choice, either the gift card or the box. But there will be 2 winners. And I wish you all the best of luck. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your week. Remember to stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.